It was the biggest grossing book since Harry Potter. It courted controversy at every turn. Religious groups called for a ban, which prompted yet more sales. There was even a film. But what if all that you thought you knew was part of a wider conspiracy to hide the real Da Vinci Code? I'm going to take you into a world you know, a world you haven't seen, a world where you'll ask yourself, who is the real Dan Brown? My name is Pat Bridges. 5 weeks before I met Darryl Spencer, he contacted my research assistant Stephanie Marsland with an outrageous claim.
This can't be it, can it? This is where Stephanie said it was. Great, a map. You've got a treasure, haven't they?
We arranged to meet in secret. The first location was boarded up, but I found a map that led me to a second, where I finally met Darryl, and he took me to a third.
No, it's locked. Sure, it was here. Who's that? I think that's him.
The gate was open like 10 minutes ago, and someone came, drove up and closed it. Now I don't know whether we're being filmed, but we should probably find someone.
Okay. Darryl?
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks for having us around, first of all. I know you don't usually let people into your house. 3 months ago you went into public hiding after coming out and claiming you were the original author of the Da Vinci Code. Why did you feel it necessary to go into public hiding, and why were you so afraid?
First off, I am the author of Deception Point. I'm the author of Digital Fortress. I'm the author of Angels and Demons. I didn't write the Da Vinci Code. It's not the book that I wrote. I didn't write it. Just didn't. It's not my book.
So they took your book, they changed it, they changed the name of the author and released it. Why did they do that?
Because I think I was onto something with the book.
Okay, you're talking about this notion of unveiling the truth.
Unveiling the truth about the Illuminati, the real truth about the Illuminati, not Dan Brown's version of it. Because Dan Brown's an actor. I mean, I hired him personally through Random House. We found him on Castnet. Apparently, he'd had dealings with Random House beforehand in their corporate video wing, and he seemed like the perfect fit. You know, he was. I actually have it here. He's from Milwaukee. He can do a perfect East Midlands accent as well as a perfect US accent because he's from there. As you can see, these are the parts that he originally played for.
Stretching as far back as 1989, he has worked as an extra on 6 feature films.
Well, they're corporate video, that's the thing. They're all internal.
And could we take this for verification?
No, you can't.
No. Okay.
I could do your copy, but you can't keep it. Right.
So So listen, why now? Why this sudden change of heart? You've been in hiding for a while. Why now do you choose to come out and announce to the world that you are the secret author of the books?
I hate to say the money, but it's also the truth. I mean, my royalties stopped coming in. My royalty checks stopped coming in. And Random House stopped contacting me. I've not only got letters to do with... I had to hide these. I had to hide these because basically I feared that the proof might be stolen. I've not only got proof from a letter, if you can read that they wanted to make changes to my book, Dissecting Vitruvian Man. It's a Random House logo. But I've also, there you go, you can have a look at that. I've also got proof that Dan Brown, the actor, suggested the title, The Da Vinci Code. And actually, if you look at his actor's CV, you'll notice that he worked for Da Vinci Video at some point for their corporate video as well. Again, just an offshoot, an umbrella organisation. This was the first one I got. This is the first letter I got after I sent them Digital Fortress. After I sent Digital Fortress to them, this was such a good day for me. I thought the rest of my life was starting.
So basically, Darryl, what you're saying is these letters are urging you to make big changes to your books.
Yes, they urged me to change it from what was kind of a metaphysical meander through what human beings innately are into something that was bollocks. It was just bollocks.
I suppose the big question that we all want to know, given the nature of the Da Vinci Code as a book being revelatory and letting people know a certain truth, what did they tell you to keep out of the book?
I mean, basically, there was a subplot that was weaving. It wasn't all just set in one time, dissecting Vitruvian Man. It wasn't. It was partly set in the past and the future. You know, the three states of existence.
Okay.
And the part that was set in the future, they suggested that I save that completely for the fifth book.
Which is your new book?
Dangerous New Animal.
DNA.
And it's an anagram of Dan, which is kind of ironic because the plot, although I don't want to give too much away, it's about lizard men. I mean, we're basic sheep to them. You know, battery farms, housing estates. We're just microchips in their computer. They've been ruling us for years. I mean, God knows how long. I mean, the signs have been around since the dawn of time. I mean, I only hope that the truth gets out there, really.
The truth is out there.
Don't be like that. You just take the piss out of me. After all I've shown you, after all the proof that I've shown you, you f***ers.
Just give me 5 minutes with it.
Darryl showed me the original artwork for some of his earlier books, including some alternative titles: Random Deception, The Good, the Bad and the Illuminati, and even artwork from his first literary outing where Darryl Spencer's name is plainly seen.
Okay, Darryl, let's just calm it down a bit, and I'd just like to ask you. You talk of proof. You have proof that all of this claim that you are the original Dan Brown, as it were. I don't want to say that name too many times, but you have the proof.
I have the proof. You know, whether it will convince anyone, I don't know, but I have proof. You know, I mean, they covered their tracks pretty well.
And they raised the public profile of Dan Brown tremendously, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, that whole legal battle between Holy Blood and the Holy Grail and the Da Vinci Code. Both books are published by Random House.
So
I mean, essentially, both books are pretty much identical.
So it's all publicity tactic.
My book was nothing like either of them. I mean, it was a bit like one of them.
I do have one last question for you, Darryl. What do you think Dan Brown would say were he in the room now?
Well, here now,
You know,
what he'd say.
what he'd say.
Well, for a start, he wouldn't come out. Unless he had a posse of people with him. I wouldn't tell him where I lived. Because then they'd know where I lived. I mean, I don't think he'd have very much to say unless it was scripted for him. He's a f***ing actor.
So
He's not a very good actor either. I mean, I'm not even sure he can talk at all. I mean, he's got lawyers talking for him. You know, his wife talks for him. I mean, I don't even know whether these were speaking roles. He could be a f***ing mute. I mean, he could write it, but he wouldn't be able to read it, would he? I mean, you know, have you noticed how he never speaks for himself? How he always has a lawyer talking for him?
you'd be referring to the fact that he's never seen in public.
Never really seen in public, yet he lives in a giant house. I mean, everyone knows someone who's read the book. But no one's met the man, apart from his legal team and his wife, who I don't even believe's human. Everyone I ever met at Random House, everyone I met in the interim before being published, everyone I met. Once I was published and dealing with them, saying that I didn't want to be known as the author of these books for my own safety, is without a doubt a member of the Illuminati. And ultimately, is trying to stop you from seeing the real truth about what Leonardo, not Da Vinci, Leonardo himself was trying to put across in the secrets that he was trying to smuggle out. The Priory of Zion. The code that Nostradamus was trying to get across in his 4-line verses. The pattern that they spelled out for the whole of humanity. I was trying to unveil your eyes. And they ended up making you read a book.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that
Yeah, that's fine. I think
Thanks,
we can wrap
man.
on that, can't we?
Thank you. I
Yeah,
can't thank you enough, really.
Thank you, Dan.
What?
Sorry, Darryl. Thanks, Darryl.
Out!
Let's get out of here.
Get the f*** out of here. You don't know what I've been through. They've taken everything from me.
Come on.
Go, come on.
I left with a strange feeling. Something in the parting words of Darryl had set my mind racing. Was it possible that I knew less now than I had before I met him? Was he trying to uncover the truth, or hide it further from me? Did Darryl Spencer even exist? Or was he just another part of the mystery that surrounds the Da Vinci Code.